All right, at this time, along with the band, I'd like to do a thing we call Live at Home.
Hello everybody and welcome to another Live from MK Homebase Reloaded without the Gaiden. It's time for more Street Fighter 5. And with me tonight are FM Alter, Kate Astaire aka Steak Eater. Wait a minute, Kate Astaire, is that some sort of anagram for Steak Eater? I'm only catching on to that now. Looks like it, right? And Rob Farley is in here, of course. And we got Dust vs. Tweak, although he's not visible in the lounge yet. So let me see if he's online. Yeah, you are in the menu right now, sir.
Am I?
Consider that an invitation.
Yes.
To any helpful viewers, let us know if everybody is coming through crystal clear. That was a little bit of an issue last week. But we should be good now. But that's what I was thinking last week as well. You know, I just forgot to check one slider.
Anyone listening for me was happy with the first 90 minutes and then disappointed after that.
How's it going, Rob?
Yeah, all good. All good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, massively slacking by playing video games instead of editing the video with this podcast right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gosh, how long does that take you?
Way too long. Takes me about maybe a full 40-hour work week to edit that thing together. It's insane. But
How long is your raw recording usually?
Yeah, how much do you have to cut out?
The raw recording gets to usually 4.5 to sometimes 5 hours. One time we had 6 hours of raw recording. That was a monster to get through.
How much did you cut that one down to?
5 minutes.
Nah, maybe. I think that was one of the longest that we had done. So it came down to 4 hours and 45 minutes or something like that. Yeah.
You just can't shut Ben up, and why would you want to?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, I do.
But it must be tough though.
Yeah, I do trim out a lot, and I try to make the conversation flow a little bit nicer. You know, nobody wants to listen to a lot of and retakes and stutters. So,
Boy.
Yeah.
I thought taking a public speaking course in college trained that out of me, and then I started recording podcasts. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
It's still here.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that easy to, especially when you're trying to find the exact right words. English is also not my first language, so that makes me even a little bit more, because I want to make sure I'm not using a word completely wrong or anything like that, you know? So there's a lot of thinking going on in my head still. So yeah, I get a little bit perfectionist with these edits as well, which is why it takes me about 40 hours. But I mix in sounds and music as well, so yeah, it's a elaborate process.
And I'd imagine it must just take so much time because it's all audio and not video. Like I do some video editing, and there you can quickly scrub through stuff and see the images, right?
Yeah, exactly.
With audio, you basically can't do that.
Yeah, you just have to listen for it. I mean, you see, of course, the the audio spikes in the visualization,
Sure,
but that's not the same, and not always so reliable. So this is why maybe tonight we're not going to make a full 2 hours, because I want to get this thing done actually tonight. But yeah, let's just see how it goes, right?
Totally.
It's me versus Johannes right now.
Yep.
How is Johannes a super bronze? I mean, come on. It's like
It's
that is
trickery.
so misleading.
Yeah, it's actually I dropped down quite a lot because I just want to get rid of my points. I hate ranked. It's
He
just,
just-
it's just not fun. I should have never started playing ranked in this game. No, it's like we were talking about it earlier. It's like it's not about having fun or getting better or any of the things that Street Fighter should be about. It's just about not losing those stupid points.
Yeah.
It's not what the game should be for me.
Plus, you're just trying to hide your power levels, right?
Yeah, of course.
You want to be super bronze so you can smash everybody and act all innocent about it. Who, me?
First time playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Beginner's luck.
Exactly. How did this guy play again? Ah, there we go. Oh! Ooh, that missed. Completely missed. Ah, crap. Oh, slick. And we're both
that
super
big
bronze.
trigger
How did that
cancel.
even happen? Oh. Don't finish it, please. Ah! I thought I had a V trigger. Now I have a V trigger.
Your arm's gold now?
Yeah. Oh no! Input error.
Ooh. Ooh.
What are these moves?
Ah! Yikes.
Oh.
Unfamiliarity with the character on your part gets me a little bit, but not enough. Right?
There's a lot going on with that character design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tricky to actually use him effectively yet for me, but I figured like just by playing him a little bit more tonight, I can sort of start feeling him out more.
I like the character design. I don't like the animations.
Yeah, I love the animation. Look at how he's walking back.
This one is cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like his actual kicks.
Yeah. His animations are based on the character Q from Third Strike a lot. Like, a lot of
Sure.
them.
And we don't know who Q is, right? He's still a man of mystery?
Exactly,
Yeah.
he is.
And this is previous.
And this is G.
prior to 3. Oh, that's G.
Yeah. GQ.
Suffer like G did.
Exactly. I forgot to power up. Oh.
Ooh, ooh.
Ah, crap! I missed
Ah,
my
it's gonna trigger
I missed my
right?
super. Yikes. I could have
Yeah.
comboed into super right there.
Or juggled with other stuff probably, right?
Yeah.
Look like it.
It's interesting theme music to go with him.
Yeah, that's I hear Chun-Li's music.
Yeah.
Oops, that's not a combo.
Oh, he has a command grab as well. There we go.
Nice.
Light it up. Ah, that feels good. Woo! That's good. I'm dead.
No, I don't-
Ooh, almost. Okay,
That.
that was punishable. Not my day.
It says a lot when you've got more hits in your combo than time on the clock.
Yeah. Nice one. Nice observation. So yeah, I want to put everyone at rest. The Video Wizards podcast edit is coming along quite nicely. Yeah. I'm maybe a little bit biased here, but I think it's going to be another good one.
Cool, I'm sure.
There we go.
Everything
Oh,
so far has been top
think-
notch, man.
I think State
Thanks.
might need a re-invite. He had to restart.
Oh really? Okay. Let me loop him in again. Oh, I see he's offline. I was thinking we're missing somebody. Maybe let me see. Yeah, he's offline right now, so after the next match I'll see if he's back in.
I won't take long.
Can't you invite people during spectating?
Not sure.
Maybe
Maybe.
only in the lobby?
Yeah, I think only in the lobby. Hayes Hill is in the chat saying, "Sorry I'm late, was just on Twitter laughing at Oculus Rift's terrible decision to force its users to have a Facebook account." Ha!
Yeah, that is terrible.
Oh. Well, I just deleted my Facebook account, so I can't get a Rift.
No. That's insane.
You're missing out though. Not with the Rift, but with the Quest. Awesome device.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're missing out not with the Rift, but with Facebook.
Yeah.
No. I don't think anybody.
Dude, you should totally get Facebook. You're missing out, man.
You can talk to all your friends and
Yeah.
family.
What year are we
Learn
in?
to
What
hate
is?
them every day.
Yeah, are we back in
But my-
2005?
But my personal information will be safe, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
As safe as anyone else's.
Yeah. Facebook, why do you have such great teeth? Such big teeth. Bye bye user base, says Hayes Hill. Good to have you on here, Hayes. That Mega Man costume is class. So you get all these extra costumes if you buy the current version of the game, right?
The arcade or Champions Edition, yes.
Champions Edition, yeah, because we just
Yep.
got the free Champions Edition update, which doesn't get you all the costumes and everything. So
Yeah.
it's fine. It's fine,
Yeah, I didn't have the game at all, any version of it, so
right?
when
Then
you
you
buy
get
Champions
everything.
Edition of it all, yeah.
So that's funny because the whole philosophy of Street Fighter V was you only ever have to buy one version of the game. But then still, if I would have waited up until now to buy the game, I would have gotten all the goodies, right? Rather than just get the free upgrades
Except for
only.
the next 4 characters?
Yeah, exactly. So you still need a season's pass for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that would have saved me a lot of money. And as we can see, you know, it's not like I'm massively ahead of the game by having played it since late 2016. Feels like ages. Yeah, you weren't there last week, Hazel. I think you were. Yeah, we played on a Monday last week, so maybe that threw some people off. So that that's why only K-Sub-Zero showed up at the end and told us that the audio was all wrong. Just to check, Hayes, can you hear everything correctly? Can you hear the game audio? Can you hear the others speaking?
Should stop jumping into the corner.
Bad habits. They're hard to shake sometimes. But you're doing well so far, you know, against our little pool of players. Oh! What happened to your black Shadow Lady costume?
I want to go back to basic.
Back to basics. Back to bronze. Super bronze.
Yes.
Oh.
Good one. You're a bit too heavy on the sweeps sometimes.
Mm.
I can punish them most of the time.
Like the heavy sweep, you mean?
Yeah, the crouching heavy kick.
Yeah, crouching heavy kick.
It's like I can, like after jump-ins, or when you're close to me, I can just wait. And usually punish a sweep with like medium kick into spinning bird kick or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Habits, right?
Exactly.
Hazel Hill says, I can hear you, but we're watching TV too, so I can barely hear the others. That has me all in doubt again.
Here, let me watch it on my phone.
Good shout. And keep talking so you can hear yourself. A spinning bird kick. When's the last time you've played Flappy Fighter, Johannes?
Maybe a month ago.
Sounded good to me.
Yeah? Okay, good stuff. Yeah, they stopped updating Flappy Fighter, so whenever I switch on the game, I just get Birdette versus Birdette all the time.
Yeah, they seem to have some legal issue.
Oh, really? Because they had this massive character Cookie, right? Like, like who was
great,
basically the Juggernaut, but he was only
Yeah.
in there once, or only once that I checked in there.
True.
Yeah. I didn't know they had legal issues.
Yeah, it's on their Twitter.
Maybe because their company name is Capcom and not Capcom, and it looks
Maybe,
a lot like Capcom. Yeah. I always have to say Apcom because Aap is Dutch for monkey. I cannot pronounce it any other way.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe that's completely intentional. Maybe that's part of the joke of the name.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh! Always so... Ah, wow! How did Rob do that? He just stuffed your combo.
Which one? Good game.
Yeah?
Good game. Pure luck.
Rob, you stuffed his combo. How did that happen? I thought he was going to town on you again and you just interrupted his combo.
I bribed him.
You bribed him. Yeah, makes sense. That makes too much sense. Let's see if Steak is...
Michiel, you mean I could have gone into Super?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. I didn't try.
Okay, I sent Steak another invite.
You guys go.
Alright. Let's go. Let's do this. I haven't heard from Leon for this week. Last week he called off because the first turn that we did, I actually didn't play a single fight against him. And on our previous launch sessions, we went pretty even. I wonder if I got the upper hand now.
He's running scared, obviously.
Yeah, he's hiding under the pier. Let's see what if I can make G work a little bit harder for me now. Because he is the world's president, after all. High Roller Casino. Nice. Good choice.
Hyrule Casino.
Hyrule Casino, yeah. With nothing but rupees. Why? Because it's his duty, that's why. Oh. Stuff me.
Oh. That Bane move hurts.
Oh. Interesting. Ah! Okay. Not my day.
Not my day.
That's what he says. Oh.
Mutually assured destruction right
What a
there.
punch.
Yep.
The hallmark of any great president.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Here we go. I think I hear the sound of Steak entering the chat. Here we go.
Ah.
Okay. Again, not my day.
You lose.
It's not over yet.
For Ryu, it's never over.
Exactly. The fight never ends. Play again.
Round one.
So the thing is,
Fight.
I'm trying to find a sort of a game plan for him. And then at the same time, you just merrily do your stuff, which makes it hard to get anything really going. Okay, that didn't work.
Darn. Ooh. Wow.
Oof!
Did that guard crush the super?
I don't think so. I wasn't dizzied, right?
No, not dizzy, but like breaking your guard.
Oh, right.
Maybe I'm imagining things.
Ryu.
Oh.
Wheel kick, the double wheel kick looks like you can juggle that.
Yeah, probably.
You lose.
Hello.
Hey, hi, Steak. How's it going?
Yeah, not bad, man.
Are you in the lobby right now?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I joined.
Good stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, sorry, I just had some microphone problems, but
No worries, man. If you're cool with being on speech, that's fine too. If not, that's fine as well.
No, let's go. I'm alright to be on mic. That's fine.
Good. Right.
Rio versus Rio next,
Yeah,
or not?
or not.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was too listening to State's dulcet tones.
Right. Nice. Yeah.
Let's see how that goes.
I wonder who will they pick. Which one of these fighters will prove the old axiom today?
What is the old axiom though?
The weak win and the strong lose? No, it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it sounds fun.
Yeah. The weak win.
Hey, Leon.
Leon's in the
asked
chat.
for an invite.
Ah, hey, hi, Leon. I'll after this match, I'll send you an invite.
Sure. Thank you.
How's it going? Long time no speak.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. You?
Not too shabby. I'm a busy boy.
Oh,
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. No, definitely good. Got a lot going on.
If it's work, that's probably a good thing.
It's work. Yeah, and work and fun, I guess. How have you been?
Yeah. Same old.
One thing I also need to give my attention is Rayman to actually finish that before the weekend. Yeah.
As I say, no self-flagellation as regards to finishing it. I had no idea.
That one was from the heart.
I had no idea
Damn.
what it was when I put it on the list.
Mm.
I have now completed every level in the game apart from the last one.
Yeah, and then you need to get all the Electoons for that, right?
Yeah. So I'm working my way back to the summer.
Yeah.
We'll see how I get on. I've used the 99 lives tube because it just saves hours.
Yeah. I'll probably do that as well. Like I'll start playing on Thursday off stream.
Yeah. I do recommend the free PC remake for quality of life.
Yeah.
I know it's stupid.
Of course.
And it also plays at the correct speed, unlike the PAL PS1 version.
Yeah, but on the other hand, we're talking about the original release, right? So I need to give that all the vitriol it deserves.
Well, it's fine. To play some of both is cool, but yeah, I mean, there's loads of versions to talk about actually. We won't have played all of them, but obviously it started development on the SNES, then went to the Jaguar.
Yeah.
Apparently the Saturn version is the best out of all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, plays a bit faster and smoother than even the NTSC PS1 version because of its
Really?
superior sprite handling.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then there's that like DSiWare version. There's the version, the PC MS-DOS version you can play on GOG. So there'll be loads to talk about anyway.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But yeah, I've cheated on some of the bosses just because I haven't got the strength of character or skill to. Do you know what the game? I'm going to say this on the show. The game it reminds me the most of is Cuphead.
Yeah, we made
that's the game K-Sub keeps bringing up in any stream.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I see what you mean. But especially with some of the boss designs, right? Like that big saxophone, right?
Yeah.
Marvel versus Capcom all of a sudden.
But
and just the precision required and the learning of the pattern.
yeah, maybe. But I mean, I think it's just in some ways it's quite tight. On the other, in other ways it's quite sloppily
Sorry
designed.
about the dirty corner shenanigans.
Yeah, no, I agree. We'll talk about it. I think it'd be a really interesting pod, even if we haven't, all finished it legitimately. I don't know if Jesse has. I would doubt it, but we'll see. I guess.
Yeah, I've doubted it on panel members of the past if they actually completed the games that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Let me see. I can invite Leon now.
I'm sure you'll talk about. Wasn't there like a pretty decently reviewed Game Boy Advance version of Rayman?
It was There's two Game Boy versions. There's a Game Boy Color one, which is quite well regarded. GBA one, I mean, according to the one video I've watched, is a bit of a disaster actually.
Oh, really?
Well, it's all zoomed in, so it's like you can't see. So everything becomes a leap of faith, basically.
Which in that game you get a bit in the normal ones.
So that sounds like hell to me.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So we get a Battle of the Titans coming up next.
I didn't even know I could be juggled in the air like that in Street Fighter V.
Yeah, I just heard you cry out like, "Is this Marvel vs. Capcom?" Yeah.
It was. He's bouncing off my head, and somehow that's sending me airborne.
Yeah. Logic.
Physics.
That's just physics, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There just comes a point where it's like I'm just pressing anything just to get out of this corner. It's not working.
Yeah.
That Shadaloo Mechazen. That's cool.
All right. Yeah.
How's the game
awesome.
playing tonight, lag-wise?
It's actually oh, that is a cool costume. Yeah.
This time and last time as well has been pretty good.
Yeah. The first time was really quite bad, and then afterwards, the last 2 weeks, it has been great actually.
Cool.
Round one. Fight.
I was trying to think if I got my new router after the first stream, but I got it before that already, so it wasn't that.
You already had it.
Yeah.
But you were all right, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yours was actually okay.
We were playing versus Howard in Japan, and he had like a 1 bar connection last week,
Yeah.
and that went totally well. Yeah, it went really fine.
Yeah, that's cool.
Is Chun-Li versus Zangief a bad matchup for Zangief?
Probably not.
Hey, good call, Steak. I like to see my my character win. Don't lose, man.
Sorry, these the character choices have all been sort of pre-decided.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What is the theme this time?
Well, it's pro wrestling. is the
Ah. Okay. I gotcha. So we get an Armika as well.
theme. Yeah, and Birdie apparently.
He's kind of like a grappler, right? But he uses chains.
Well, according to
Does
his
Laura count in that?
previous.
Yeah, Laura should count.
wrestling. Seriously, full screen bear grab. I'm sorry.
Nice. Yeah, I was trying out G up until now with not that much success, but I'll see if I can get some Zangief play in again as well. So Leon, about
Good one, though. Good one.
about Rayman, just a quick second. So I take it, I mean, I'd imagine if you want to get all the Electoons, that a walkthrough might come in handy, because some of the places that they're hidden in are ridiculous. Like basically, you fall down a ledge somewhere on accident, and you find yourself in an area with Electoons on there.
Well, I found one last night without guide, which only appears if you do this pointless section of platforming.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's all about. Some of the again, it'll make an interesting show, because I think some of the game's really tightly and well designed.
Yeah.
And some of it has all the hallmarks of a Euro platformer from the early 90s.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great contradiction of this game. Like, I detest it on so many levels, but then if I compare it to other platformers that came out of Europe and America in those days, it's actually pretty decent.
Yeah,
So
they
that
definitely learned
says
a lot,
something.
but not everything.
Yeah, not quite enough.
And despite it being horribly hard and a bit slow and sticky on the PAL version and really frustrating, I haven't hated playing it overall.
Yeah, I can't say the same. But maybe also I've been playing it like a Resident Evil game. So whenever I would lose too many lives, I would just not continue, you know?
Yeah.
I would just start again from my save file. So it's really been slow going.
I would absolutely recommend anyone play Origins and Legends over the original
No.
at this point.
Right, yeah.
But it's interesting, and yeah, it is a quarter of a century old.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then again,
Good
Super
game.
Mario World, I streamed that like a couple of weeks ago with my
Well,
son, and that's just, even at 50 hertz, that's still a pleasure to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That might be an unfair bar to set for other games.
Yeah, but subconsciously, maybe that's the measuring stick that I
Yeah.
sort of judge most platformers to.
Yeah,
It doesn't mean
probably
everything has to be on that level, and nothing really is, of course,
No.
but yeah.
It's probably just as well I didn't get my Super Nintendo until about '94,
Yeah.
because that meant that I got to enjoy loads of
Games that you
Drive.
might not have enjoyed otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You still got to enjoy Zool.
Oh god, no, I never liked Zool. In fact, obviously I bought it and tweaked it on the Amiga because, you know, what was I going to do? And I already had a Mega Drive by that point, but the reviews, man. And I was looking at the Zool spreadsheet on our spreadsheet earlier, and basically it's all red apart from Carl, who beat them both.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
You can never have to revisit those.
Yeah. I think Carl still speaks quite highly of Zool.
Wow.
It was on one of the podcasts where he said, where he was talking about in The Wizard,
Final round, let's go.
that famous movie, The Wizard, they should have played Zool instead of Super Mario 3. So I'm going to ask Steak Eater a question after this match. I don't want to distract him too much.
So,
Ace Hill says Zool is okay. Used to love playing that on my Amiga.
It was, I mean, it was passable in the absence of anything better, but actually it was, I mean, obviously everyone's entitled to their opinion and their experience, but
Of course.
I played Zool at the time, and yeah, it was just, the design and the feel of everything was just so far behind
Yeah.
Japanese platform that it was just laughable. It
Yeah.
was, I mean, I like the basic.
And blocking.
But yeah, it kind of had a nice overall look to it. But like,
Well, that's it. I think
Yeah.
it epitomises the Mega Drive versus, you know, the Super Nintendo in that way, in terms of sort of style over substance. To a certain degree.
Yeah. I mean, they got Chupa Chups in there.
Good game, sir.
Yeah, nicely done.
Definitely.
It doesn't
So,
matter how long I stop playing this game for. Every time I see Chun-Li's overhead, I automatically stand up. I don't even, like it's just muscle memory. I don't even like it. Just happens.
That's how it has to be. Yeah.
so two things right now.
Especially online, you wouldn't have the time to react to it if you had to think about it.
So two things right now. Hayes Hill says, I guess Leon is still using his phone because he sounds super quiet.
Yeah, sorry.
Which is what I also hear. And
I have no other alternative.
no other alternative. No worries. And then I had a question for Steak Eater. How are you finding the V-Skill 2? I saw that you used that one.
Yeah,
For
I'm
everything.
still trying to figure it out. I think he's only got one hit of armor on it.
Yeah.
But I think part of what makes it interesting is that you can dash cancel it.
Right.
So you can effectively use it like a focus attack, I guess.
Sort
Like
of.
the
Yeah. But then it has a wall bounce kind of thing to it if you fully charge it, right? The donkey kick.
Yeah. But it's, you know, it's
I found it super situational. That one.
Yeah, it's unusual. I mean, I think that's the first fight I've used Zangief since the last time on one of your streams,
Right.
or since I played with you guys.
Yeah, I think you used Zangief in a mirror match versus me and totally wiped the floor with me, making me feel very embarrassed.
I'm sorry.
No worries. Yeah.
I mean, it seems cool. Like I was doing the trials earlier on. I was kind of like, I think I'm a big fan of grapplers in general.
Yeah, me too.
And so part of the reason why I ended up picking up Bison as my main is because his V-Skill 2 was V-Trigger 2 was a grapple.
Oh, right.
Like just having that option to scare people with, I find it like super useful.
So one of my other favorite grapplers in fighting games is Potemkin in Guilty Gear. Although I don't like his redesign in the new Guilty Gear games. Just from an aesthetics point of view.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever won a match online against Potemkin. Like everyone who used them when I was playing it was an absolute nightmare. Every time I picked him up, like he felt so ridiculously cumbersome. I guess like I couldn't get my head around him at all.
Hazel says, "I'll steal Leon a USB headset from work and do a drive-by drop-off."
I'm not sure I know where Hazel lives.
I think he lives not too far from Brighton. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What was it, Croydon or something? No, Croydon was his old stomping ground, right?
I think it's more Burr Heath.
What? He's yodeling. Burgess Hill. Hazel also says he prefers Fire and Ice, but played it again recently and it's hard as nails. Here we go.
Yeah. Andrew Braybrook, that one. Yeah, I don't have a Bluetooth headset for some reason. I was just looking for my Apple ear thingies, but I don't know where they are.
Rob's jumping around a lot.
That's absolutely the correct way to play Vega, judging by everyone I've ever fought online.
Yeah.
Slide and jump, that's the...
Oh! That gets me on my lariat.
Oh, right in the lariat.
Right on the lariat, yeah. That's the most sensitive part of the body. It's not over! And now it's over.
Right.
Alright, let me run that back.
Do I sound any closer or further away?
Very, very clear right now.
Closer.
Yeah. You sound like you're talking straight into my ear hole.
Okay, that's the. I've got the little wired earbuds on.
Hazel says, actually have to visit Brighton on Tuesday to get a service and MOT done. Everywhere closer is fully booked. What's the MOT?
Ministry of Transport annual car, once over.
And that's my learning done for today.
Make sure you've got your side reflectors working.
Always. Ah! Slippery is this one.
What's the Dutch MOT?
Not quite sure.
Do you not have one?
We should have one.
Do you have a car?
I do have a car, yeah. So is it like the
annual make sure it's safe thing?
Yeah, like yeah, I know what it is. APK. It's like a yeah.
APK. Right, that's learning for everybody.
Exactly.
And what does that stand for? Automobile something?
Local Dutch car maintenance.
Pretty much. Yeah, automobile something. K means keuring, which is that's the only thing I can say for sure, which is pretty much a checkup.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
For if you ever find yourself on this way of the on this side of the channel.
Owning a car that I can't drive. Yeah.
Exactly. I can't do much against this guy.
So, Mikhail, have you you find you're getting more contributors towards the podcast in the last couple of months or so? Are you finding that you're getting more stuff to sort of getting forwarded to you for each episode?
Like I'm getting more efficient at editing, you mean?
No, I mean like are more people contributing towards the topic you're talking about?
It's kind of like the same every time, but different people sort of check in and out, you know? Yeah, usually we have about 3 to 4 correspondents per podcast. Yeah, but I mean, you're pretty much the official, unofficial third member, right? Your correspondence is on every show.
Yeah, I mean, good contributions.
I
I find it hard to remember those things because it's such a long time ago. Like I don't know which year I played which game.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of research. That's why we usually send out sort of
But-
like a social media post saying what we'll actually be talking about, because you don't want
Sure,
people
but
to
like,
do all sorts of
like
research.
for example, we played loads of Street Fighter 2 on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
But I have no idea when that was. Like it was somewhere sometime after release, obviously. But could be 2 years, could be 3 years, could be immediately. I have no idea.
And we got one credit Ben in the chat, and he says the trailer went live as you're streaming. What a moment!
Just saw that, yeah.
Yeah. Too bad I can't really be boosting the signal right now, but I'll get on that right after the stream. Thanks, Ben. I haven't even seen it, so I'm going to see the trailer just along with everybody else.
Stream that. Reaction videos, man.
Reaction videos, yeah.
That's how you get the YouTube clout.
Yeah, you start screaming at the camera like, oh, oh, oh my God!
Pretend you don't know what's coming.
Your head will fall off. Trust me. That's what he says. Reaction video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't do a reaction video, you don't have proof you've actually watched it. How are we supposed to believe you?
Yeah, exactly.
Quality.
Knowing Ben's previous trailers, I've got images in my mind of all those retro things coming up, and
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be good.
I'm going to guess and say he used music of Megadeth in there.
Yeah.
Hangar 18. So we were just talking about that before I started streaming.
The funniest thing to me about the podcast is Ben talking about wrestling and boxing, which I never followed as a kid. Like I have no idea what was going on and what is going on in that world. It's just fascinating to hear about him.
Yeah.
Hear him talking about it like it's the most regular thing that everybody follows. You know?
Yeah, exactly. But the enthusiasm is infectious, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah. No, I mean it's generally fun and entertaining. It's just interesting that I have absolutely no clue. Like he could be making up all of this on the spot.
Yeah.
I would never notice.
And so, with some of the names, some of the nicknames of the boxes, it sounds like he's making it up on the spot. Like who I think there was even a boxer with a nickname the nickname was basically the Cobra.
Oh damn, that jump.
Yeah, that's as 80s as it gets.
And
The
of course
80s was
there's
all
the-
about Cobras.
Yeah, and of course the Dutch news that you're totally making up as well, probably.
Yeah.
Two blokes on a dinghy.
Yeah. That was an all-timer.
Whew!
It's amazing how a story about Marvin Hagler follows a story about Robert Mugabe.
Fight.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff, guys. Peas in a pot, those two. Yeah, that Vegas is kind of mean. I didn't know how to deal with it. I don't think I've won a single match this evening.
I don't expect I will either.
Huh.
Michael, I saw you like the Vega costume from the costume design contest.
Oh yeah, I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. Why not, right? If we got all these revealing female costumes.
Yeah, exactly. I watched some of the Capcom Photo stream with I don't even know what the guys' names are. The new commentator guys. And they said, yeah, this Vega costume, it's just a shame that it's not gonna win because it's not a female character. No way.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you got all these like really like hostile reactions to it as well. Like, no, my God, no. Yeah.
Which is totally stupid because their costume design is completely in line with Vega's character, right?
Yeah. Alright, so Ben
me.
Yeah. So Ben looked up the world record for Ghouls and Ghosts point score, and it's 2.4 million. Took the guy 9
Yeah.
hours. Right. So
we were chatting about it on on Facebook. Yeah, he's just not up for those kinds of challenges.
It's like a marathon session, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took him 9 hours
Yeah.
all in all, including training, or was
Yeah.
it more like
Oh
9
God.
years?
So what he did is not stand on level 1 shooting zombies because you run out of time, but basically you have to repeat
Okay.
the second loop over and over again without getting the psycho cannon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good game, Rob.
Yeah.
Not my idea of fun, but you know, as I said to Ben, like some people, you know, we each have our own motivations, don't we?
Definitely, yeah.
I think the unfunniest grinding that I ever saw was that one guy that grinded up Cloud and Barrett in Final Fantasy VII in the very first scene, dungeon, whatever.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
there's only one fight. He just did it over and over for.
But fair play to Ben. He
Long
looped.
time.
Fair play to Ben. He looped he did the second loop a couple of times to get the world record on the leaderboards for the Capcom Home Arcade system.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he's number
yeah.
1 on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But I mean, me and Johannes were talking about leaderboards, and he gave me the terrible news that leaderboards are kind of iffy nowadays because they're easily cheated.
Right. Yeah.
'Cause
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, because we're working on something that would really benefit from a sound leaderboard. But yeah,
Yeah.
we might just have to do it anyway, Johannes. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to make it 100% safe, pretty much, but you can make it harder.
Yeah,
And it depends on how motivated people are to cheat.
yeah.
Most of
So
the most of the XBLA leaderboards got butchered by cheats and hackers.
Yes.
I think it happens to most of the arcade archives games as well.
Yeah. Alright, so Ben says it's not the entire second loop that you need to repeat, but just the last level of loop 2.
Yeah, of course, getting the cycle cannon.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't send you all the way back if you don't have the psycho cannon. You just have to play the last level over and over again. Ghosts and Goblins sends you back 2 levels, I think, if you don't have the correct weapon. Alright, we got a Blanca.
Yeah, Leon's looking tasty today.
Yeah, definitely with the classic blue turbo Street Fighter 2 turbo skin. No, that's not the turbo. That's actually Champion Edition.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition skin.
Turbo's the sort of mustardy colour.
Yeah, he became mustardy with blue hair in that one. Yeah. 2.4 million on the world version of the ROM. Standard difficulty, rookie shit. He said, rookie shit. Stop it, man. Just stop it. I want to know from Ben if he's ever tried his hand at Street Fighter 5. I do know he played Mortal Kombat 11. So there's no reason why you're not playing Street Fighter 5.
Unless you enjoy single player content.
Yeah.
In which case,
Yeah, probably. The Mortal Kombat games are good for single player content, definitely.
yeah.
Hey, Street Fighter 5 has single player content.
Oh,
Why is everybody laughing right away after you drop that very serious content? Why am I laughing? I mean, we all know it. We all know it, right?
It's so grotesquely bad, like
Yeah.
that even got made.
So I wanted to cut this stream short early because I have some editing to do on a podcast, on a certain podcast. But it's really fun right now, actually. So I'll just go to bed later tonight, I guess.
Have sleep, right? That's what you always say.
Yeah. Trying to record a no death level 8 clear on Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition at the moment. So that's the Mega Drive Street Fighter 2, basically, or the first Mega Drive Street Fighter 2.
Yeah, and trying to get them to try the new fan remix that's been made of that, which is a substantial upgrade in certain
Oh
areas.
yeah, I heard about that one. But it's I've seen it, and I think it's a bit of a give and take situation.
Yeah.
Some things are better, some things are worse in it, I think.
What is
Yeah,
that you're
there's-
talking about?
It's a fan-made sort of fix of Street Fighter 2 for the Mega Drive.
Fixing what?
Yeah.
Colours mainly, fonts, presentation, intros and outros. Doesn't really change the music, I don't think, a lot. Improves the sound quite dramatically. The samples play much better.
Yeah.
So not much then.
It's it's a real. It's been like a real passion project.
Yeah.
But like no rebalancing of the input.
Yeah, no, some rebalancing. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Ben says, yeah, that's the one. I did it out in Abu Dhabi on the Mini and obviously couldn't record it. Yeah.
Ah, good fight.
The main good game. The main controversy is around the fonts that he's used for the UI and text, but obviously that that's probably not the most important thing.
No.
But the colours of the characters and stages are way closer to the SNES and arcade than the original Mega Drive version.
It looks a bit less Mega Drive-y on the on the whole.
And it's not like it stops the other version from existing. So
of course not.
You can have both versions on your.
Imagine that, like you're plugging in your cartridge in your Mega Drive, and you get an automatic downloaded patch, and you cannot go back to the old version anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's never gonna happen with video games.
What we were thinking back in 1992,
We weren't even thinking of the possibility, right?
Yeah. In other news, might be going up to Arcade Club this week. Ben says, fancy trying to do Salamander there. I think that's the next challenge. That would be fantastic to get a live clear of Salamander. Yeah.
Yeah, good call. Lots of hand sanitizer being used at Arcade Club at the moment.
Yeah, I imagine.
It made me think just how many fucking gross germs I must have swallowed in my youth.
Oh yeah.
Like, because you just used to go from machine to machine, and just hundreds of grubby people
all the time licking your hands and your fingers after having touched those levers
the only
and those buttons.
Pants.
Yeah.
Well, you're probably like if you're a kid like I was at the seafront, you're probably buying snacks in between. And,
No,
not
definitely.
washing your hands and
yeah. Those germs made you stronger, says Hazehill, and Ben says that's why you've got a good immune system, Leon.
There is that. There is definitely
the arcade and immune system.
Yeah.
What does Vaun mean? Alright. Grappler is the theme for Steak Eater tonight. Grapplers. R. Mika, Rainbow Mika. What a character. Made her debut in Street Fighter Alpha 3.
That is true.
Yep.
One of the most disgusting characters in this game.
I don't know, she's shapely.
Those.
Yeah, she's got at least 2 good points.
Yeah.
That was obviously not what I was talking about.
Yeah.
It's true.
What about the hair?
Oh, I get it. He was talking about how she functions as a character, right? Functions.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking about V-trigger into...
I remember it being more extreme in Alpha 3. Am I wrong?
That she had more hanging out? No, I think it's about the same. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's been a lateral progression.
Yeah. She's got more animation frames now. Maybe the favorite way that Blanca has ever looked was in the Street Fighter Alpha games.
Yeah, totally.
Oh yeah, true.
So round.
But the CVS games use the same sprite.
Yeah, they use the same sprite.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Alpha sprites, as great as they are, they sort of look...
fitting into...
Yeah, they look less detailed than the original sprites for CVS 2 and CVS 1. The Blanca is rond, says Hazehill. Good one.
This,
shit, I just
wrestling theme's really working out for me so far, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe not your most seasoned characters to play with. And Leon is personifies Blanca. He's a wild man when he plays. It's hard to get a read on him or hard to get a grip on him.
You can imagine Blanca growing up under a pier, can't you?
Definitely. With the seagulls.
Are there many piers in the Brazilian jungle?
Yeah, low peers, I think.
Limbo piers.
Yeah. You don't want to fall off those piers because the piranhas will have early dinner.
Yeah.
The piranhas, you know?
Exactly.
What was that?
Or the ones those fish that swim up your peas and lodge themselves.
Yeah. You don't want those.
Definitely not.
Most people don't.
Yeah, unless you get a kick out of that sort of thing.
I don't think it's good.
It doesn't sound too appealing.
There's a sound bite for you. Urethra fish. Leon does not think it is good.
Alright, so that Steak Eater did edge out a win the last round.
Yeah.
Oh! Grabbed him by the legs. Oh! Painful. Yeah. Especially concerning the balls rond. Especially that was brought up during Senko no Ronde a lot. The streams rond was Robert's favorite saying on the...
What's that? A goldfish bowl head?
That as well, yeah. The goldfish bullhead. Hot needles.
Oh yeah.
Lots of piranha under the Brighton Pier. I'm getting peckish, that's not good. I had dinner like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't do dinner. My wife's gonna kill me. Oh no.
Oh well.
You made tacos last night.
I know. I was supposed to make barbecue chicken in the slow cooker. Oh, no, I forgot.
So that's why you had second thoughts about coming on stream today, but then you forgot about it.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Do we have a decider? Is that how it works?
Yeah. Best. First of two is the setup.
Cool.
Right. Off to record a guest spot on this judging podcast. Speak soon, my friends. Good luck with that Ben. And speak soon, definitely. Take care.
Yeah, Ben.
Bye, Ben.
So does that mean you have to sign off soon, Dusk?
No.
It's too late. It's too late now.
Until 8 o'clock, so I imagine she's not gonna want me to do it now. Oh no.
Okay. Oh no.
No, I had a bunch of car stuff I had to do today, so I was not sure I was gonna make it.
Yeah. So you have an excuse.
Kind of. we talked about it earlier today. We talked about it at like 1 o'clock today.
Yeah.
3 hours ago, it just escaped my mind.
Hey, who? That's not fair. 2 on to 1.
She
more Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, calling an assist.
Fucking assist trophies, not trophies. Partners.
Assist characters, yeah. I've been playing a lot of, I haven't been playing a lot of video games at all actually. But I've been trying to sneak in some Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on the arcade stick the last couple of days.
Nice.
On the Dreamcast, yeah.
Which one was that we played at your place? Was it Marvel Superheroes?
No, that was X-Men vs. Street Fighter on the Saturn.
Oh yeah.
That was fun
I
too.
love that.
Awesome game, yeah.
I love that game.
Yeah. Yeah, it sort of changed our outlook that a game that's not balanced can actually be really fun, right?
Yeah, a bit, yeah. Crazy can be fun. For sure.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that still entire competitive scenes can sort of erupt around a famously unbalanced game.
Yeah.
Indeed. Oh, he's got it. No, he hasn't. Yes, he has.
I don't know who to root for. I don't want to play against Blanca. I don't want to play against Armika.
Final round, yeah, it's coming. It's coming down to the wire.
It's all down to this.
It all comes down to this.
Oh,
Hazel says, "Hey Michiel, just listen to your sound of play you did with Leon Castlevania the other day. Made my lunchtime walk very enjoyable in the burning sun." Oh yeah, that was fall last year that we did that. That was a really fun one to do.
Lunchtime walks plus sound of play is a totally thing for me.
Oh, for you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, podcasts in general, but
me too.
I forgot to tell Ryan that I really enjoyed his 2010 mix.
I've just got that one saved up.
those mixes are awesome.
Yeah. They're getting more and more eclectic as well.
Yeah.
I was happy when I heard the Old Dirty Bastard being mixed in there. Shimmy shimmy yeah. And speaking of shimmies, oh, Leon did it! Good game, good game.
My God.
You beat the man, the myth. You beat the legend.
I beat the legend.
Ultra Diamond, Supreme Warlord, top rank master, Grandmaster.
Him on an unfamiliar character, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Especially as I played so badly last time.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've actually I've tweaked my screen a bit. I think I had too many. Although it was on game mode, I think I'd added some of the post-processing settings back on. And since I turned those off, my gameplay suddenly mysteriously got a lot better. So yeah, I think it was maybe. Not that I'm super sensitive to input lag, but it can make just
about enough, right? Yeah. Looks like you're gonna have to fight Blanca, Johannes.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
He'll destroy me.
I don't know.
With that mindset, I will.
You've already lost. Omae wa shinderu.
Exactly.
I'm doing 4 miles every lunchtime in a bid to lose some weight. Sound of play is really helping, says Hazel. Good for you, man. Good for you.
Enjoy.
You too, man. Classic costumes. Okay.
Yeah, I've picked up exercise at home on the cross trainer again and weightlifting, but I think I actually really need to get a gym subscription again to really make a difference.
You know, it's going to the gym that makes a difference, right? Not the subscription.
True. Very sharp.
There's some amazing stat, isn't there, about the amount of money gyms make from people.
Oh,
yeah, from people that are idle, basically. Yeah. Oh. I forgot that this is actual Blanca's actual default design in this game. Yeah. Very hairy.
I was complimenting the classic costume, but totally not the classic costume.
Yeah.
This is called ad style.
Oh, you got advertised. Yeah. You make more fight money when you support ads. But I don't see the ads anywhere on his body.
I'll tell you what, Leon, you've definitely got an in there with listening to sound of play while doing your physical exercise. You could like time the music for the routines. You could have sound of Pilates.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Sound of Pilates. And that name change might actually be something to consider, considering everybody's doing Sound of Play these days.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I can imagine Leon as the new Joe Rogan.
Yeah. I don't know why that made me laugh, but it did.
Just chill there with the electricity beast in front of her.
Yeah. 11 pounds or 5 kg in European in a month. Good luck, man. Get it. Brow. Ah! Shenanigans.
I know it's coming, but I can't block fast enough.
Input lag?
Nah, just
Or Street Fighter 5 lag?
Old man reaction.
Old man reactions.
Oh, come on.
And you're not even that old. Already with the old man reactions.
Stop it! Oh no!
Oh, he blocked it. Leon's got young man reactions.
Oh,
Johannes, you're trying really hard to throw this away, man. No any point blank sweet.
Everybody's on Magic Pixels. Oh, everybody was on borrowed time here. Both of you.
That's intense.
Yeah, entertaining stuff.
Didn't know how to properly punish.
What's Kung Fu, you ask? You don't seem capable of the necessary discipline. Wow.
that is absolutely
She's
true.
being racist towards Blanca.
Was that 1 or 2?
Racist
That was
towards green people. Yeah.
1 loss. I can read.
Round 1. Fight.
Oof. So, Blanca is actually called Jimmy, right? And he fell out of a plane over the Amazon. So,
Correct.
is it ever made clear what country he is originally from?
No.
So he might be Jimmy from Brazil that took a local flight.
Yeah. I mean, he represents Brazil, but he could be from Scotland.
Yeah.
You know, you just don't know.
And-
Yeah, he's got dual nationality.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very ginger, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, Blanca sponsored by Iron Bull.
Dan always calls him by his actual name, Jimmy.
Yeah. That's funny.
He's just a good buddy.
Like Edmund Fonda
Yeah, Edmund.
and Derek Dalton.
Zangief, we don't know if that's his first or his last name, but there was a Russian wrestler in Japan called Victor
Oh,
Zangief.
come on.
Okay.
Victor.
Victor Zangief, yeah. I
Classic
think it was
Japanese
Ben
two names.
who hit me to that. He knows all the wrestlers and all the boxers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he knows them all. That's spacing.
Not sure what to do against this character.
Maybe play a little bit more defensively.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Just let him come to you. Let him do stuff. Clean. Oof. The only thing you can do is systematically dismantle him. That crazy V-trigger. Oh! That's so crazy about fighting Leon. It's all coming back to me now. Like, he just sneaks in those hits here and there, you know? Like, you don't expect it. Like, oh, you get hit with something.
Man, really good timing on those Blanca balls.
Yeah?
I'm trying to walk you down, and I'm like, right, I know exactly when he's going to throw this.
Yeah.
I'll walk forward a bit and block, but nah.
Yeah, that's
couldn't
what
get a read
I'm
on it
trying
at
to
all.
do, but clearly I don't get the timing.
Leon, you don't have the Blanca-chan costume, the plushie?
I
please,
don't know actually.
please,
Is it all part of the
It
champion?
came with the champion edition.
Probably,
Yeah, did it
Yeah.
come?
Probably.
Yeah, that's a
It's the
great.
story mode costume.
I know Johannes disagrees with me, but I think that's a great costume.
It's great.
Oh yeah, I
It's
love
funny,
it.
sure, but
Yeah.
It's,
I mean,
it's
it's
actually
banned in
harder to
tournaments
play
for a
with
reason.
because of the visuals of it.
Yeah. It's not that
I think
problematic.
it's worth the challenge.
I think it's not that problematic actually in terms of visibility, that costume. Actually, his default costume with all the wildly flopping hair here and there might be more problematic.
Yeah, true. I feel a bit more like Nikari actually.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Oh boy.
Yeah.
That absolutely would have killed if it was season 1 Chun-Li. The V skill scaling,
yeah.
V trigger scaling rather.
She's not what she's used to anymore. What she used to be. Yeah.
Is that true? I have not noticed that. murdered by her.
And I don't think Johannes has really been playing much since season 1. I remember, I think I went to visit Johannes in Germany when Street Fighter V was out for a couple of months, and it was during Evo time, right? We were working on some of our many projects, and we were watching Evo matches at the same time as well. In your small place in Heidelberg, that was fun.
Yeah, that was probably a thing.
Yeah, comprehensive in the end. Worked me out.
Good game, sir.
I was trying to learn to play Rashid on the stick at the time. Yeah, so 2 wins, 1 loss. Oh, you got fight money?
Yeah, probably.
Blanca turned green because of the amount of vegetation he ate. Take that, vegetarians, says Hazel.
Ah, chlorophyll.
Alright.
You wanna go one more?
Yeah, sure. I'll give G another shot.
Suffer, like G did.
Like G did, exactly. Yeah, since I don't think I stand a chance with Zangief against this Chun-Li. We'll meet G over there.
You mentioned X-Men Street Fighter. Looking at it, it's like it's kind of crazy. It came out in like late, like 96, 97.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like both franchises were like on the wane at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think for a more mainstream audience, it was, but yeah, still plenty of people that were into those games.
It was huge in the arcades, and it was in here in Brighton, and it was one of the main reasons that I got my Saturn modded so I could play Japanese games. It was it was ridiculous. Plugging the 4 meg RAM expansion in and having basically arcade perfect X-Men versus Street Fighter. It was unbelievable.
17's a pretty hefty character count.
Yeah. I think they introduced Rogue in there because she was not in Children of the Atom.
Yeah, my girlfriend at the time, she was well into comics, so she would play Gambit and Rogue, and I would play Street Fighters. It was good.
Yeah, the Children of the Atom's funny because there's a couple of bad guys in there on the villain side who are like so of their time, early 90s, you would never see again.
So,
and then the Street Fighter X-Men, it's like, the big ones.
Yeah.
Was it like Omega Red?
Silver Samurai and Spiral were real. Yeah, Spiral was hot business in the. It's the same thing with the Sega X-Men game though. Like you fight what's her name? In the Savage Land, oh boy, it starts with a Z. But she's a character who was like real hot in like 1991, and she's been dead since.
You played
same thing with like Stripe.
You played the what year was the Konami coin-op, the 6-player one?
That was I think it was either 91 probably.
91 or 2, I think.
92 maybe, yeah.
Yeah, they released it on XBLA, but then it got delisted, of course.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know about that double screen thing. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, 6-player couch, 2 screens.
That seems like you find one of those in the wild, you just have to play it anyway.
Yeah.
Was it Zaladane, Eric?
Zaladane, thank you. Yeah, Zaladane.
Yeah.
Zaladane and Strife were like as early 90s as it got for X-Men, and they're right
there
in the X-Men.
Look at that close-up.
Whoa, Your face has gone gold.
Yeah. And I was totally getting murdered, but I was still holding back on the stick, just in case,
That X-Men arcade game the Konami one is interesting because it's using the art style from the X-Men Pride of the X-Men.
Yeah.
Like failed 30-minute pilot that never got picked up or aired or anything. Some people had like the VHS.
They have Cyclops in there looking with the big white X costume, right? Like he had that for a very short minute in the comics.
Yeah. It's just an interest. Like if that was 91, then the comics were as big as they'd ever been, but they were using the failed television pilot.
Yeah, as a template.
Yeah.
X-Men, come on.
But I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense if you've got those assets there. Why not?
I mean, I always found that mad on that original game on the NES, was it? Where you could be Nightcrawler, you could select the characters and their mutant power bar ran down. You could actually be Nightcrawler, which was crazy at the time.
Yeah.
So you could be a teleportating character, a teleporting character.
Yeah, it was 92, the 6-player side scroller.
Yeah.
Early 92.
So yeah, they're using the failed like 80s pilot from like 89 or 90, and like the 90s cartoon is about to air. It's just such a weird, strange thing about that game.
It's also funny just looking at, so the X-Men game's obviously based off similar engine to Turtles and Simpsons. And it has a similarly sort of slightly soft, soggy combat feel. Then just 2 years after that, Capcom obviously got the X-Men and made Children of the Atom, which looks very, very different, like out for a different time almost.
Yeah.
Mashy.
Trying to kick you into the bus.
Yeah, that's his objective.
That's what happened to Zangief earlier.
Yeah, that was a heavy landing in the bus with that iron costume.
Yeah.
Oh, got juggled.
Yeah, I was trying to do super against your whatever that
is Ryu? I feel like whenever I get kicked with that special, I always see Ryu's like eyes bugging out. Is he one of the few characters that happens with?
Yeah, his eyes bug out a lot.
Yeah.
I think there were a lot more buggy eyes in Street Fighter 4. Especially, I used to play Honda, and when you do the Ultra with Honda on everybody, their eyes just pop out of their skulls.
Yeah, it's a throwback to the original, really, isn't it? Because
kind of,
they had so many fewer animation frames, obviously, that they used to really, it used to be overt and cartoony.
Yeah, but they stopped at the puking.
Yeah.
Now we get the rear mirror.
It's a shame. It's a shame they took out the sort of vomiting of custard or blood.
Yeah, with actual vomit color, right?
Yeah, kinda.
That wasn't in the Super Nintendo version, was it?
Yeah, it was. Maybe not the blood color one, but definitely the vomit was in there.
Yeah, it's just like one frame. If you get a real gut punch on some of the characters, there's just a kind of like a splurge of puke down the front.
Yeah.
It's quite brief, but yeah.
Imagine that, like getting like gut punch like that where you throw up your dinner.
Yeah, I can totally imagine it.
Was I supposed to let that go there? I wasn't paying any attention, and then suddenly it was my turn.
Yeah, I think Dusk
dropped
dropped
I missed
out.
my turn. I didn't even realize it. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's all right. If this works out, that Leon and Mikhail can actually play. Mikhail was saying that didn't happen last time.
Yeah, for the first time we couldn't square off. Yeah. The second screen was laying flat and used a mirror to reflect the image so that it lined up with the other CRT screen. The gap was 4 feet wide and 6 feet deep on, says Hazel, on X-Men Arcades by Konami.
Oh, the X-Men Arcade, yeah.
They, in the arcade Blast Galaxy in Amsterdam North, they have the 6-player arcade cap over there. Yeah. I tried to get my kids to play it, but all I wanted to do was play Gauntlet.
I was obsessed with Gauntlet. Yeah, we definitely had a 6-player X-Men, but I saw some 4-player ones around as well.
Yeah. That costume?
The downloadable release allowed you to flip between the two modes, which was quite cool for Digital Eclipse.
But I think only the PS3 version supported 6-player online, I think. Or 6-player local, one of the two.
Yeah.
I think for that release, the PS3 version was the one to get. But I didn't have a PS3 at the time, so I didn't get any version.
Yeah, I didn't have those PS3 and Xbox 360 are my college-aged consoles, so I didn't have a one during that. I just was playing whatever roommates had at the time.
Usually for multi-platforms, the 360 was the safe bet.
Usually.
Yeah, usually. But years later I bought a PS3 just for the cool exclusives on it.
Yeah, I have a PS. My sister gave me her PS3 when she got the Spider-Man version PS4. But I mainly use it because it can you can still buy PS1 and PS2 games on the digital store.
Oh right, yeah.
Which is great.
Such as Rayman.
Yeah. Highly recommended.
That's where I was gonna get Market Cree, but I just didn't do it in time to line up with the podcast. But it's still there to play.
You play that on PS4 as well.
Look at that shoulder tackle. Very Akira Virtua Fighter like. Maybe with a little more oomph.
Just started watching season 2 of High Score Girl.
Ah, right, yeah.
There's a bit of Virtua Fighter going on in that.
Yeah, definitely.
Today's not Wednesday, right? No, it's Tuesday. There's a thing coming out on Netflix.
Documentary thing.
Yeah,
oh
High
yeah.
Score, I think it's just called.
Yeah, that was
It's like
going
6
live
parts.
today. Yeah. I think for us it's coming. It will be there on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
I don't know like how fluffy or in depth that will actually be, but
a lot of these things tend to be like. And first there was Pong, and
yeah,
then everyone started making video games, and there was Mario. It's like we know all this. Like
Yeah.
it might be for a very mainstream audience rather than.
I don't mind. I could use something fluffy like that right now.
Sure.
First there was E.T. by Atari, and then Nintendo came and rescued the video game industry.
I was
Now-
asking for that.
Everyone plays video games.
Yeah. Even your grandmother,
Yeah.
who's crazy about this guy.
I was reading a review for it that was saying that like each episode kind of picks a focus of a certain thing. So I don't know. I don't really know what that will translate to. I hear it's very artist focused.
That's cool.
Yeah,
as
I
opposed
actually,
to, like-
in all seriousness, I like what I saw from the trailer. So I'll definitely be watching it when I have some free time.
I used to back in the early days of G4. They had a series called Icons.
Oh,
that
yeah.
I liked. It was like VH1 behind the music, but like for Final Fantasy or something.
Some of those are uploaded to YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where I got a few. Haze Hill says, could have. I got halfway through series 2 of High Score Girl. Need to finish that.
Yeah, I'm just on episode 2, I think. I just don't know why I had a gap between series 1 and 2 while I was rewatching the MCU.
Yeah, it's really interesting again, season 2. My son liked it less than the first season, but that was because there was way more romance and girl stuff in there, which he didn't like much.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it is such a sort of overt nerd fantasy. This total dork of a kid has these 2 really attractive girls after him, and they both love and are really good at video games. Like, come on.
Is it like an adaptation of your
You mean?
Yeah.
So
Totally not.
you mean to say that didn't happen to you, Leon?
Well, you know, I've done alright for myself, but
Yeah.
not quite like that.
It is, I don't know. It's weird thinking back, like, when I look back, I'm like, oh, where were all the girl gamers when I was a kid? But then I look back, I'm like, well, every girl I knew played video games. So, like, where did this victim mentality come from with me in that? It's so, like, I guess, like, culture starts saying one thing, so I start believing it. But then I think back, I'm like, well, I played Street Fighter and Mario Kart with every girl I knew in the neighborhood anyway. So,
Same for me. Like,
yeah.
The neighbor girls, they all bought Nintendos as well on Super Nintendo, so we were swapping games around.
My neighbor girl had a Sega Genesis when I had a Super Nintendo, so if anything, she was more cool. She was cooler about it than I was.
I want to say that if we're being very general, girls seem to grow out of it faster. But then again, I know a lot of guys that grew out of video games as well, so that might not even be accurate, you know?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was when I was at school, obviously in the 70s and 80s, it was definitely still very much more a boy thing, for right or wrong, for whatever reasons of that were.
Yeah.
Whether it's expectation or, or whatever else. But yeah, it was computer games were mainly for the dorky losers like me at that point. But it's all right.
No one was disagreeing.
I made up for it.
Yeah. Hazel says the main time we get to watch stuff like that, High School Girl, is while we're eating dinner. Tough to eat and read subtitles at the same time. Yeah.
That's true.
If you don't speak the language fluently like Johannes, then it might be tough. Yeah.
I tried when I'd come home from work. Sometimes I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch an anime," but if it was subtitled, it was a good chance that thing was just gonna knock me out. Just the lulling speech patterns and the subtitles. I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
Logger.
Hey!
Experience the wild the hard way.
I was so close to picking the Monster Hunter one there, but I chickened out. I would have been Nerga Gente, if that's how you say it.
Yeah, somebody picked a Monster Hunter costume last week, like with the Rathalos armor. But I forgot what the character was because it pretty much looks like a Monster Hunter. So
Yes. You could play Primal Rage at that point. You could piss on each other.
Exactly.
My iron body is invincible, so beware.
You hear that? Invincible.
Okay.
Fight.
It's tracksuited. Blanca has just as much hair as Ad Style.
Just covering up the ads with this tracksuit.
It's the BBC Blanca. Surely
crap.
He's politically neutral. No, he's gone red. That's the sauce.
Forced, surely.
Oh yeah.
Totally red. Oh!
You've gone Hakan on me.
Yeah. Tricky, this Blanca stuff.
Round 2.
Aroo.
There you go. The old cross up splash special. Oh!
Eat my life. Eat my fast roll.
Are you streaming in Vegas tonight, Sal?
Oh, that's got to finish me off, surely. Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta do it.
That's probably a punish on the blocks regular bit.
Nicely timed.
Sure, you should have been electrocuted down.
Yeah, some moves break the electricity, right? Cannot be completely impervious.
Oh no, it's not fair. That's...
Yeah, the electricity probably just has a huge hitbox.
Oops.
So you get hit before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hit him most of the time, but there's no invincibility or anything.
Crap. Banzai.
Come on, touch me.
Exactly.
Bugger. Well played.
That was a great game.
You win.
Yeah, over a light. We just had the talking about the lightning and then I did the silly thing.
Yeah.
Should have just smashed you in the face with my Blanca fist.
Blanca has a command throw in this one as well.
Yes.
They added command throws to so many characters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Blankers is like Birdie's dolphin dive, isn't it? It's a sort of a jump thingy.
Yeah, it is. Which is totally a good move for him to have, like in that situation there with there's a neutraling and you're waiting for the blacker ball.
Yeah.
And trying to punish it, and then instead he does the dive grab. That's really strong.
My wife came home. She forgave me.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear.
Are you sure about that?
Well, she told me to say that it's okay with her, so maybe. So it helped that I could just go back to this recording of Akil's stream and show her my in-time realization.
Yeah.
Genuine remorse.
Yeah.
I think I've helped out there by claiming how much your stream benefited from you leaving last night.
Elbow.
Ooh.
Michiel, you need to follow that up, man. If you hit the full one, like Lariat.
With the after the elbow, you mean?
After
No,
the after the
V trigger.
Oh, after the V trigger. What I've seen people do is jump after, after you launch them, jump after them, and then do an air spinning pile driver. But
I
haven't been able to time that yet.
That one's a bit tough, but you can do other things as well, like Lariat probably, and
have you
chop.
Headbutt?
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
If you do headbutt, you should be in the right range to like do an SPD on a as a reset. Like they land and you should be ready to do like a next SPD or bear grab like.
Oh!
Oh, there it is. I used to think that was so hardcore as a kid, that head bite.
Face biting,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh! Oh! Okay. Ah! Okay, not headbutt then.
You have to wait a bit probably.
Okay, that was not good.
Oh.
Yeah, I think just go Lariat. It's the
Lariat?
most, it's got the longest sort of active hitbox. So even if you just like land it and then just mash Lariat, you should be fine.
It's weird how much more human Blanca looks in the face. You know what I mean? He's less sort of animal. He's more like the Hulk in the modern films.
Interesting, yeah.
I think it looks very much like X-Men. What's his name? Beast.
Yeah, he's got a beast vibe about him.
Well, especially in the tracksuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh! I got caught slipping.
No! Oh. Totally did the wrong thing. I had something in my head, and what came out with my fingers was.
I have to say, Leon, that was very heart pounding. I felt like I never felt like in control there.
Yeah, but you won both.
That's how it goes sometimes.
It's go time.
Hey! Fancy meeting you here.
Michiel, was that your first win
I think that was my first win, yeah.
of the day?
Yep. I've been fooling around too much.
Get serious.
Get serious! Hey, come on, come on! And nothing says get serious more than the Field of Destiny, right?
Totally.
Oh, I ran out of time.
I also noticed
Sorry.
your kids weren't here for the first fight of the night.
No, I mean that was during school holidays. Now they have to.
Yeah.
Now they have to go to school the next morning, so they had to go to bed early.
Go, Zangief.
There you go.
What I did on my summer vacation, I played Street Fighter Online.
Yeah. No, actually, my daughter was already like doing like a school presentation with showing an arcade stick, saying that she was learning Street Fighter.
Nice.
And she was planning on. She's still planning to go to Evo Japan and take the tournament there. I don't know about Taran. I think he doesn't really have the correct mindset yet. He gets very angry when he loses. You know, there's too much of a temper on him.
You know, I didn't have that when I was a kid, and then like sometime in college I went back to Street Fighter 2, and I was ready to just throw the controller at the TV. I was like, what happened between 8 and 18 where...
Yeah.
Self-image, right? Like, during that time, that's when you start getting an idea of being cool and good at things, rather than just enjoying them.
I don't know if anyone else had this, but what I used to do, not that I was particularly good, but when I was playing FIFA with friends and I was beating them, I would let them get back into the game and then just score against them in the last minute just to get a reaction out of them. I mean, this is meant to be a therapy session, but you know, it helps.
I used to reverse over the finish line in Mario Kart on the DS.
When I was a teenager, I used to get major rage when playing games, says Hill.
Yeah, me too.
Now when I stream games, I rage in a way that like I never do when it's just me. I'm like, it feels like it's for a performance for the camera sometimes, but then it's like not controlled. So like, I don't know what it is. It's just
what
so
puts
strange.
me off streaming actually is one of the things is that I would feel so pressured. Like the thing that Mikhail's been doing, and I know actually the audience really gets behind him, but the thing of doing really difficult things but then dying and doing them over and over again, I would just start to feel humiliated and stressed and like I was boring the audience. But I realise it's kind of unnecessary. People can turn off if they want. But
Yeah. Sometimes when I feel like I'm really doing a bad job streaming, I suspect people are still watching because they feel sorry for me. Yeah, that was close.
I think a difference is like when it's just me, I'm just like silently simmering in that rage, but I'm still just like constantly doing the same thing over and over again in the game.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're streaming it, you feel like you have to chat. But if it's that simmering rage, all you've got is that rage to chat with.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of an art to getting angry, but making it entertainment angry, not off-putting angry, you know?
Yeah, self-deprecating.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I remember it was a race against the Human Torch in Ultimate Spider-Man on PS2. It was killing me, and I just remember sitting there silently, but like burning with this rage. And you know, now turn on the stream camera, that thing would just yelling at the Human Torch, yelling at myself. So I don't know which one's healthier. Silently burying the rage and
I've certainly been through that. You know, I still occasionally. I'm better now. What I used to do is, well, probably in my 20s, as much as anything, was sort of punch myself in the leg, just out of anger. But now I'm way more likely to just flip the bird at the screen.
It's like the stage of grief. I find myself trying to rationalise the game, saying, "Come on!" It's like, why are you doing that?
Depends on what's causing the death, doesn't it? If you can possibly blame the developer, that's where I'll go.
Oh crap!
Did I go too early a bit?
Yeah, exactly. I could punch through it. That was close. We still got another ramp.
Yeah, I think what kind of helped is like the past couple years I've accepted that when it comes to certain games, I might not necessarily beat them with skill, but just persistence.
Right.
So like eventually the math and everything will work out into my favor, and I'll get through the level. I mean, that was me with Rayman Origins and a lot of those like treasure chest chases. I'm like, sooner or later, it's all gonna go right. I just have to wait.
Yeah.
In terms of streaming, I think that's called the Mikhail Kroder God of War 2 effect.
Sooner or later, all the random numbers are gonna align with my random skills, and
Yeah.
we'll achieve it.
Yeah, chaos theory.
Yep. I love that guy in the apron in the back. He's just so into this fight.
Yeah.
No.
Welcome.
Ooh.
Rock'em sock'em robots!
Wow. I was scared for you there, Mikhail.
Yeah, I was just going in, you know? What?
Damn.
That took a little bit of health off.
Ooh. Some nice blocking.
Oh, come on.
Crap. No! Oh, that combo. Oh, no. Oh, this hurts me. Oh, this hurts me deep in my soul.
Oh.
I was also I tried
That was
EX spinning bird kick against your last jump and it should have worked.
Yeah.
It didn't, so.
What happened? What went on there?
I don't know.
Haze Hill rage quit Fall Guys.
Yeah, Fall Guys the other day. It's the most simultaneously entertaining and rage-inducing game I've played in years.
Oh yeah.
I really need to look into this because all I've seen is screenshots and I have no idea what to make of it.
My sister got it for me for my my birthday, but now I end up just playing it with my wife because she was a big fan of Mario Party, and I think her skills there translated pretty easy into Fall Guys.
Interesting.
And she's better than you.
She's a little better than me.
These
But
are
it
fun
is,
games.
It's fun. Yeah.
These are
I can see it being rage-inducing because I got to the crown bout and I lost, and it was like I was so close. The team games can be a nightmare. Sure, Hayes. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
You were very close. I've won it 5 times, and I think that might be enough for me, but I do keep sneaking back.
Wow.
nice.
Ryu versus Ryu. Is this the first mirror match you've had on
Seems
these
like
streams here, Mikhail?
I think this is the first mirror match, definitely, yeah. I think these are some good games we're having tonight, despite me not winning a whole lot. Yeah. It's been fun, and the again the connection is really holding up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I hadn't even really thought about lag, so that's the good sign.
Maybe Capcom hired the guy that fixed their netcode. Yeah, and didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, there was a server-side patch, wasn't there? There's no game update, but there was a version update.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, it wouldn't be anything that major.
It's
Though.
ridiculous, actually, that they, like this one guy just fixed their netcode with some tweaks, and for like a couple of years they haven't done much to improve it. Ooh! A lot of whiffed kicks I saw there.
Yes.
Go Ryu! My money's in Ryu. Both have the same costume as well, just different colors.
It's about as classic as it gets.
Yeah, Street Fighter Alpha style costume, right? I mean, in default color it is, with the white headband.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's
You're
funny
saying
that
a whiff
after
it's usually me whiffing a move.
After Street Fighter 2 and Alpha, Ryu got this very like spiky hairdo, right? Like his whole hairstyle changed.
Yeah.
Brushy, spiky, kind of what you see in the character portrait on the top of the screen.
Bit more anime, right?
Yeah.
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 Well, I mean, Alpha was a bit more anime.
Yeah.
For sure.
But not Dragon Ball Z anime.
No.
Oni in Street Fighter 4 was a very Dragon Ball type character.
Does Dragon Ball Fighters have crossplay at all?
I don't think so.
I think so. No.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
I think you can only play with
I have that on the PS4.
Yeah, I
I
got
have
it
it
on
on Xbox.
the PC.
Yeah, brilliant.
Nice.
When will crossplay become a norm?
Yeah.
I have spent way too little time playing
Same,
Dragon Ball
yeah.
Fighters. It's amazing, but I
Yeah,
haven't
I mean-
been playing a lot of it.
I have no.
It's
affinity-
beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's stunning. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have no affinity for Dragon Ball whatsoever. I know nothing really
I-
about it.
I got it for my wife, who's a huge DBZ fan.
Yeah.
But she doesn't really like the mechanics the way she'll button mash with Street Fighter, and it tends to work out for her.
Yeah.
But not so much in fighters.
But
Oh.
in Dragon Ball Fighters, there's a one-button combo pretty much.
Yeah.
Like you can hit the same button over and over again, and you do it like a
Pretty
sort of a
accessible
can't
compared to-
like ground to air combo. Maybe she's just not mashing simply enough. She's mashing too many buttons at the
So
same
many
time.
buttons, yeah.
Yeah, just hit that one button.
Good fight.
Definitely.
Yeah, she something about it just wasn't clicking with her. Even though it's all the characters she grew up
Yeah.
loving, and
That's a
Street
shame.
Fighter means nothing to her. If anything,
No.
she's more of a she has more experience with Tekken growing up than Street
yeah.
Fighter.
The way I got into Dragon Ball was in my youth, in my mid-teens, so to speak, or early teens, and we went on holidays to France and Spain, and they were way ahead with that stuff. Like they were running the original manga and anime series, like already like in the late 80s or something over there, you know. And I think the English-speaking countries and the Netherlands, Cartoon Network, they only started showing Dragon Ball like maybe towards the end of the millennium or something.
I got it into it very late.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I was into it in my youth because it came. I was checking the Dragon Ball mangas and anime over there around the same time that Street Fighter 2 came out, and I was looking. Hey, they do like this sort of same kind of energy blast, you know, where they sort like the Hadouken, like they hold their hands together and then
I'm just dancing here.
and then
Holy cow.
throw out the energy blast. I thought it was very interesting.
Oh, what am I doing?
So I started buying those comic books in Spanish and French and Catalonian. Yeah.
Hmm. Do any of the other current fighting franchises support crossplay?
Yeah. Which ones are?
Well,
so Street
with,
Fighter 5
I mean, with
and
5, it's only it's still just PlayStation and PC.
but that's the only
Well,
platforms it's out
It's the
though.
only platform it's on, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just because I've got most of them.
Which is the other one?
No, I was asking. I was like saying, are there any?
Oh yeah. I can't think of any.
I've got Guilty Gear, I've got Tekken, I've got Mortal Kombat, I've got Injustice. Yeah, so many of them, and
The 30th anniversary, wasn't that crossplay?
I don't think so.
Ooh.
I don't think so.
Really?
Maybe it's because didn't people complain about playing with or was it just Switch people complaining? I thought people were complaining about going against Switch players. Darn it!
Sorry, double.
Imagine if the 3DS version of Street Fighter 4 would be crossplay with Xbox and PS3, and you could just like hit out those ultras in one touch on the touch screen, and
yeah.
you know
Well,
do non-stop sonic booms without having to charge.
Yeah.
That would be slightly unfair.
I'm still waiting for Street Fighter 2 Ultra to get a decent discount just so I can complete my Street Fighter collection.
Yeah. So for those that think Dragon Ball Z and think like ridiculous power levels and people charging and screaming a lot, it does get a little bit ridiculous. But if I might recommend something, read the original manga series where Son Goku was still
Yeah, it moves
just
a lot
kid.
quicker, and there's
It's very
less of that.
yeah, it's very whimsical. It's like an adventure story basically, where he's on a quest to find the 7 dragon Dragon Balls, and it's kind of like another retelling of Journey to the West as well.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I heard
and it's very humorous, very whimsical. Doesn't take itself very seriously. I love the mangas. It's very, you know, like the art in there is really cool. Before it gets all like, you know, like people screaming and raging and planets exploding.
Yeah, I really enjoyed both series in manga form, but my library that had them like stopped in the middle of them.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I had a Belgian. I have a whole range of those books of the original series, like in a sort of a Belgian edition, but they you read them backwards and everything.
Yep.
Jump Force, says Haze Hill, no crossplay.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Yeah.
I guess Blaze Blue Cross Battle Tag, whatever it's called, doesn't.
You know what might have crossplay, or with a game which I'm not surprised would have crossplay, would be Fighting EX Layer.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
So
surprised if
relevant?
that has crossplay.
Did EX Layer come out on anything else though?
It came on PS4 and out on PS4 and PC now, I think.
Okay, it's possible. Soul Calibur, no, I don't think so.
King of Fighters 14? I don't know.
That was a cheap shot, Eric.
No, every time I'm
No,
just
I don't
standing there kicking, it's because I'm not pulling off my half circle right.
Right.
Ugh. So I'm not just standing there kicking as like a taunt. I'm just failing my half circles every time.
If this would have been Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, you might have just trying to be filling your meter up, you know?
Oh, yeah. Good fights.
Alright, so I think let's do one final match, and then I have to go back to editing a podcast. So, who's up next?
Well, I'll let State play Leon.
Alright.
I kind of want to see that.
Yeah, me too. Good
It
call.
won't end well.
Good shot.
Oh no, this was the one I actually somehow won last time. Right?
Yeah, you did.
It won't happen
Against
again.
against Armika.
When I was running teen programs, we had I got an Xbox One for like our teen loft area where the kids could come, and I had Dragon Ball Fighters on it. And then they were still asking for Jump Force, even though we had Super Smash Brothers Ultimate and Dragon Ball Fighters. I was like, but you're all just gonna play the Dragon Ball characters. So.
Yeah. Jump Force, yeah. Is that like a platform fighter as well, like this DS and
No, it's
Shonen
still a
Jump
fighting
games?
game, right? It's just a straight fighting game, but with
Okay.
all the Jump Force manga characters. So One Piece and Goku. Who else is in it? I'm not sure. Whoever else is in the Jump Force brand.
Right, yeah, Naruto. So
I
Haze
think
Hill
it's
is
one of those you pick 3 fighters kind of game too.
okay, like a team battle game.
Yeah.
So Haze Hill is cheering Leon on, and he says, Leon, he's our man. If you can't win it, your seagulls can.
They were being particularly gobby earlier. The
Oh,
gulls
there you go.
Fly above our house.
What is that birdie costume?
Yeah, I've seen this before very early on. Hey, there we go, the plushie
Yeah.
costume. Blanca-chan!
I love that costume.
Yeah, it's great.
Freddie Mercury kind of thing.
Yeah,
Birdie.
Birdie dressed like Freddie Mercury, kind of.
Is this birdie story mode or what?
No, it's not the story mode. It's just a weird, wacky alternative costume.
Does Birdie have a Capcom crossover costume?
I don't think so. Or at least none that I know of. Wow. I think Stay can win this. I've seen him play Birdie before. Oof. Massive drop kick. Blanca crosses the gap so fast with that Blanca ball, right?
No!
Oh!
I have to say, I've been playing with some friends in
Look
like
at
all
those
the
health
Street
bars.
Fighter games. I'm so used to more Akuma. I haven't seen any Akuma in these fights.
No, nobody's playing Akuma. You do see a lot of them online.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I was ranking up in ranked, I smashed a couple of Akumas.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised, but it's also kind of a relief.
My whole MO is because I don't know who I'm playing against when I'm playing online Street Fighter 5. Is to basically be kind of wait and see, you know, like let them show their cards. I'm just hanging back to see what they're going to do. Oof, oof.
Oh dear, that's comprehensive.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, that's what I thought would happen. That clips all sorts of wrong. That samurai helmet. Better run off to mum now.
That is a convincing birdie in that it is a completely unconvincing British accent.
That's what I fashioned it after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fashioned it after Birdie's
Arkham-
approximation of
Arkham
a
City,
British accent, so that's pretty top-notch.
City Penguin.
Pretty top-notch expression, right? Impression. I mean.
His British accent is so bad that I can't do it. Like,
Exactly. you have to be a bloody foreigner to do it.
oh bugger off!
Oh, bugger off!
That's not how we talk. I know there's hundreds of accents in Britain, but that's not how anyone talks.
That's not an example of any of the 100.
No.
Rob, the accent that I put on for that one unboxing video was Essex-like, you said?
Yeah.
I had no idea what I was doing.
If I'm being specific, yeah.
Yeah.
Your boxes of meat, you know what I mean, son?
Right next to the chimney.
Estuary.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oof. Unpacking meat.
Yeah. Not getting anywhere near this birdie boy.
Oh.
Maybe I shouldn't have played as a cuddly toy, hey?
I don't know. It should give you some psychological advantage.
You'd think.
You'd think, right? Yeah.
Well, you look plush at the very least.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
At least you got all of us rooting for you, because you look adorable.
Not anymore.
What? What is that? That was crazy.
Thing.
Ooh.
Can't grab. Grab again.
Yeah, exactly. The funny thing was he was just like whiffing those grabs all the time, and Steak was not even trying to tech it. He was just standing there. Whoop, whoop. Brrrah.
Shit.
Scheiße! Oh, look at that! Look at that dive!
Well played.
Stupid move.
Almost chipping back in there. It's a fairly I was going to say unrealistic, but Street Fighter's never really been about realism.
Yeah. This is not realistic!
This isn't what street fighting's like out on the real streets.
No, really isn't.
Yeah, that's why Mortal Kombat was always better, because it's so much more
Yeah.
realistic.
Yeah,
That's true.
exactly what it's like downtown.
So I want to thank you all for coming on. It's been lovely.
Thanks for the game.
Lovely chat, lovely games. Yeah.
Good stuff, guys.
Yeah.
Most
It's
of us
definitely a
got
marked
2 wins.
improvement.
Yeah, look at that.
Except-
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, except for Chun-Li over there.
I only have 1 win. Wow.
that was against me, so it
Yep.
counts double somehow.
It
Yeah.
was a moral victory as well.
And actually,
Definitely.
one of mine was against FM Alter, so that counts double.
Yeah.
So I won.
Yeah, did you win? No, I think you won against Steak Eater, Kate Steer.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Also counts double. No, that
Also,
counts double.
definitely counts double. Yeah, for sure. Let's
Just all your wins count.
Yeah.
I'm the best.
All right then. So thanks all for coming on. Thank you for watching, and let's do this again next week.
Thanks, guys.
See you
Thank
soon,
you.
guys. Have a
Bye
good one.
bye.
Mikhail, get back to work. I want that.
Yeah,
podcast.
definitely. I'm getting right back in there. I'm on the job, sir.
Thank you.
All right
See ya.
then. Peace.